strawberries are starting to grow, the plants. Must mean it's springtime. Springtime on the farm. That's the time when all young men's minds naturally turn to getting the hay equipment ready for the first cut. And that's what I'm going to work on today some. Seeing what I got to do with the old cutter out there. Seemed like to me in years past my mind used to turn to something else, but can't think exactly what it is now. Might have had something to do with females? I don't know. Anyhow, let me look at my hay equipment. The hay field is starting to green up. It's got a lot of growing to do before we cut it. But that time's coming, so I got to work on this cutter a little bit. The last fall, when I was working on the last field, the final cut, I think it was the fourth cutting for the field, the cutters started slowing down. I started hearing some extra clattering going on that I was not normally used to hearing. So I thought maybe bearings had gone bad or a gear had messed up or something. So then I got to thinking, the drive in here, let me take that shield off, we'll see what it looks like. There's a little short stub drive shaft, and if that had some issues on the splines, I'd much rather have it be that than shucked teeth off the gears right there. Let me check that out first. Let's see. I had loosened that up a little while ago. Yep. And we'll take a look inside there. I don't know. Yeah, it's one thing, it's full of hay. It looks like this has slipped down considerably on those splines. It should be up there, so I don't know what's going on. It looks like it may have come off the bottom spline, or I don't know. Well, at any rate, it looks like it's not going to be too bad a fix. I just need to unbolt the arm of it, and this here, raise that up and see what's going on in there, and get things fixed up. At least it's not going to have to dismantle the cutter head or anything and replace gears or whatnot, so that's a plus. Well, there's one thing you learn from either watching this channel or being a farmer is plans change very quickly. I realize I can get on the land and do a little disking because I want to put in, I got some more hard wheat I wanted to plant and some einkorn. Don't ask me what that is, my wife knows. I didn't get it early enough to plant it last fall. But it said you could plant it in the spring, so I'm gonna hook up to the 620 and work up a little bit of ground with my old garden disc, which is not much, but I think it'll break the ground open because it has been disked before. It's a cornfield I had back there. And I'll put some einkorn and hard wheat in there. We'll see what happens. It'll be an experiment. Anyhow, I'll get on the 620. Get started. time kind of discs. Hold on a minute. This old disc here is, well, you can see it's seen better days. A lot better days. This was one of these, you pull on the string that raises this up and it unfolds. I'll show you. You gotta back up a shade till you can lift this up and then pull up, and it unfolds, well, not unfolds the disc, but it puts it on an angle so it actually cuts the ground. Let me show you. Okay. There you go. Now we're ready to go disc it. Close it up, all you gotta do is just back up and that closes it up. And you just drive away. There's the wheat I put in last fall, one of the fields of it anyway. That's soft wheat. It's still looks pretty sparse in some spots, but see one really green spot out there. Zoom it in on here or not, but there's a really green spot that is where that must be it there. It's where I buried a dead cow. It's very fertile ground there right now. But and the only reason I have that old John Deere 40 combine is because my wife and my daughter like to make their own bread and cookies and stuff, and they like to grind their own flour. And I was watching them buy bags of wheat from the Amish market for $75 a half bushel or something. And I said to myself, I think I can grow the wheat and get an old combine and harvest it for cheaper than what they can buy it, so it'll be more fun. So that's what we did. And anyhow, we've been doing that for several years, 8 or 10. And hard wheat is what they need for, I don't know if it's the bread or what. I can find out. But it's not supposed to really grow in this area, but we've been doing it and it seems to be working all right. And she got some einkorn she wanted to try also. It looks like another kind of small grain that you grind up and make stuff with. It's supposed to be real healthy for you and whatnot. I don't know. But anyhow, we got it. Didn't get the einkorn. It was mixed up with the ordering, and it didn't get here till after it was too late in the fall, and it was too cold. But it said you could plant it in the spring, so I'm going to put some out there, and I don't have a large enough patch to make it worthwhile of hooking up the tractor and to a seeder. So I'm just going to walk over it and hand seed it, like I've seen my dad do plenty of times when he was sowing the turnips and kale and a couple different things. So I'll get to doing that now. Yeah, after it's hand sowed, I'll just take a drag over it and drag it, cover up the seed, and let God take care of the rest. Now I just got to go pull my drag up out of the grass that's grown up through it, and hopefully it don't break the chain trying to pull up all that turf. But and run over it with the tractor, and we'll be done with that. I can move on to something else. There's a drag down underneath here. I know it's hard to believe, but there is. Let's see. Hook the chain up. Actually, I'll hook the chain on here. That'll give me more turning radius. Let's see what pulls up. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, not too bad. Guess I'll be leaving the extra organic material on the ground as I drag. Well, that wasn't much, but at least we got that done. I gotta spread some manure in the garden and disc that in, and I should have had my potatoes in already, but I gotta get them in, and some rows of peas and a few other things. I ain't gonna put my onions in until a lot later though. We always, last few years, put my onions in, and we had a little chilly night. It didn't even get down to freezing, but it was still too cold, and it stunted them. Terrible. I don't know why. I haven't got a decent onion in 3 years, so I don't know what in the world been going on. But plant them a little later this year, my onion sets. But anyhow, and I got to fix the 3-point hitch. Well, I got to fix the load and depth shaft seal on the 4030. That's why it's kind of sitting there. It haven't moved since I was bush hogging some stalks down in the fall. But it was leaking so bad. Kind of let it sit on that hill so that the leaking side would be up, and I'd caught most of the hydraulic fluid in a bucket and turned it into heating oil. So anyway, guess I'll catch you next time. See ya. I don't know what I done today or this week that pleased my wife, but she done made some cookies and some gingerbread there. Look at that. Them is some kind of ginger cookies. They're not snaps. They're ginger munchies, maybe. I don't know what you call them. But anyhow, they're pretty good. I'm not going to eat all of them. I'll set 5 of them aside for the rest of the family to divide amongst themselves. There you go.